Credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon.
Call 656 Pure Kinetico.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
It has begun, at least for the teams not in the playoffs for the offseason. The Chicago Bears have sought permission to interview Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy and are awaiting a response from Dallas, according to ESPN's NFL insiders Adam Schefter and Todd Archer. Some coaches have already lost their jobs. Patriots and Jags parted ways with Gerard Mayo and Doug Peterson, joining the Saints, Bears, and Jets with openings across the league.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That goal is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge. What's up, Danger?
Can't stop me now. Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio's Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me, however you may be joining me, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be listening via our AA Best Buttons audio player at sasportstar.com, or if you're locked in on YouTube, we stream all of our shows live via YouTube. Just go there, search SA Sports Star. Go ahead, like, subscribe. You can catch the Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob Thompson weekday mornings from 6 to 10, and you can catch the Blitz there weekday afternoons from 2 to 6, as well as Extra Innings with Pledge right here on San Antonio Sports Star. And man, it has been an eventful but uneventful end to the regular season. There was really only a couple of games that had any kind of importance on the NFL schedule, but Black Monday, that's where it gets interesting as we see coaches retained, fired. The decision to bring back both Brian Daboll and Joe Shane in New York with the Giants when everybody thought they were going to be gone. Tennessee keeping Brian Callahan, it looks like. And you look at the Jags parting ways with Gerard Mayo, Doug Peterson, the Patriots firing Gerard Mayo shortly after the game. That was the biggest shocker to me because I really thought wholeheartedly he was going to be able to grow with this. He was the guy that they'd handpicked, but it looks like Mike Vrabel is on their radar to be kind of the successor to Bill Belichick now all of a sudden. Jets, an opening. You got the Bears, the Saints joining those crowds. And everything else, you saw Lou Anarumo get fired from the Bengals, their defensive coordinator. The Seahawks parted way with their offensive coordinator. The Jets are asking to interview a bunch of people, including Texans offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick. I mean, it's just insane. And as you heard in Sports Center, Mike McCarthy being asked to be interviewed by the Chicago Bears. Now, don't know if the request has been granted or not by the Cowboys, who he is still currently under contract until January 14th. But earlier today on the Blitz, man, Jason and Joe talked about this news as it broke, and it's going to be very interesting to kind of see how all this ends up playing out.
And one of the biggest questions to start for Jerry Jones is, what are you doing at head coach? Now, Jerry is going to take his time, he says, but the Bears have now requested to interview Mike McCarthy. Now, a lot of teams are requesting, and there will be a lot of interviews, but McCarthy was one of those last week and the week before linked to, well, if he doesn't stay in Dallas, what about Chicago? So it's not a surprise that the Bears are interested in Mike McCarthy officially now, since that's been in the rumor mill for the last 10 days or so. But does Jerry Jones grant him permission to go interview with the Chicago Bears?
I don't look. I think Jerry's got to do one of two things. And I think this may tell us where Jerry's thinking is in the hay that's already in the barn. If he grants permission, I would think that Mike McCarthy's probably not coming back. If he doesn't, I think you'll see a contract worked out pretty soon. I'm just spitballing. That doesn't mean anything, but I'm just saying if you're going to allow Mike McCarthy to go venture out and see what other franchises are like and talk to them about a job, I don't think the Cowboys then are too interested in bringing him back.
Well, is this not typical Jerry Jones? I wanted Mike McCarthy back, but, timetable. I mean, I wasn't going to tell him, no, don't go interview, but I want a guy that is going to be here, that wants to be here. But if he's going to go listen to somebody else, I'm not going to stop him. That would be a bad move on my part. So say Mike McCarthy gets the job in Chicago, Jerry could say that was his choice, not mine.
Right.
Right. The other part of it, Jane Slater from the NFL Network was tweeting yesterday that if Mike wants to go interview somewhere else, if somebody asked for permission, he would let him because he wants a coach that's going to be here.
Now, I would say go talk. I really would. Go talk.
So it sounds like
I just let Zeke do that.
Gotcha.
I don't want anybody here. That's not healthy to have somebody around that wants to be someplace else. Really, it's not. And there's too many ways for everybody to go to be around where you don't want to be.
So I guess the first question then, Jerry's going to ask Mike, do you really want to go interview with the Chicago Bears? And if he says yes, then there's your answer.
Yeah, so Jerry could put this on Mike. Well, man, I was going to bring you back, but Jane also was tweeting out that Jerry wants a coach on an incentive-based contract, which isn't really the way it works in the National Football League. Maybe it should. And if Mike really wants this.
We have established a championship program. It's just not the world championship yet.
When they actually get there, he'll get a big old bonus.
Yeah. How about that? Now, the other thing is, this could be a PR nightmare for Jerry Jones. If he denies permission and then end up letting him go anyway, that's kind of a bad look for Jerry.
You think Jerry gives a damn?
Well, I don't.
I mean,
probably not. But I mean, that's a horrible look.
I could see Jerry, and this is just spaghetti on the wall right now. But seeing the tweets yesterday from Jane Slater about an incentive-based contract tells me, Mike, you're not getting a raise on a new deal. You might even get a pay cut with a chance with success in the playoffs, get that money, which part of me I'm not opposed to. But if I'm Mike McCarthy, if I do something like that, I want more control over my roster. Well, we know Jerry's not going to give that up. So Jerry has until January 14th to make sure Mike shows up for work every day while his key card is still active. But at the same time, is he negotiating in good faith? Yeah, Mike, go interview with Chicago. What if Chicago offers him a boatload of money? Is Jerry going to match? This is all setting up for Mike McCarthy to not be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, but for Jerry to say he quit. He didn't want to be here. He said all those things, but he didn't want to be here. I tried offering him a contract, but he turned it down.
I think Jerry just said it all there. If he told Jane, if he goes to interview somewhere else, obviously his heart's not here. So I think he just said that. So I think the question is going to be posed to McCarthy. Hey, they want to interview you. Are you going to go interview? And if he says yes, I think that seals McCarthy's fate with the Dallas Cowboys.
If I'm Mike McCarthy and I want to be in Dallas, and I got to be honest in the sense of every conversation that I personally have had with Mike McCarthy, and every time I hear him talk, whether it's on the podium, his weekly interviews here on the Morning Huddle, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, I do feel he is very genuine and honest as a head coach can be in the NFL. So when he says he wants to be here and there's unfinished business and all of that, I do believe him. But also, he wants to work. He wants to be a coach. So if he's unsure if Jerry is going to bring him back and there's somebody else that wants to interview him, he's got to go do that interview, doesn't he? Going
sure.
to do that interview, Jerry, does not mean I don't want to be here, but I've got to take care of my future and my family. So if I'm not going to work here, then I've got to look at what other options out there that I have. When there's 32 jobs, when one is open, you have to go have that conversation. You have to. And Jerry, if we're not talking contracts yet and they want to interview me, I don't want to leave, but you're forcing my hand. I've got to take that interview.
And I'm sure that the Mike McCarthy's agent is saying all of those things. You know, how can you hold it against him to go interview for another job if we don't know we're going to be here or not? So you throw the ball back in Jerry's court, and I'm sure those conversations are happening. And as you know, I mean, this happened, about 30 minutes ago, this news broke, and there's still no answer. So I'm sure these conversations are happening there at the Star in Frisco right now as we speak between somebody, whether that's Jerry and McCarthy or Jerry and McCarthy's agent. But yeah, you're right. I mean, hey, I have no assurances I'm going to come back here. I need a job. They want to interview me. I have to take it.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I don't want to be here, but you have not offered me the opportunity to stay. You haven't offered me, to our knowledge, listening to Jerry, did he give Mike McCarthy a lowball offer? You really want to be here? Here's the terms of the deal.
Uh-huh.
How much do you want to be here? And again, maybe there's not a raise in this new contract, and the raises would come with playoff success type bonuses. You look at every college coach has some sort of bonus, and I say most have some sort of bonus for bowl wins. What was I reading about the hundreds of thousands of dollars that Sark got by getting to the semifinals, and he could get even more if they advance to the champion. I mean, that's there. I'm sure, Jeff Traylor got a nice little bonus for winning a bowl game. Hell, Lisa Campos probably got a bonus for them winning a bowl game, because that's how college coaches and athletic directors get rewarded. So I see where Jerry's at with that, but you can't have an entirely incentive-laden contract for your head coach.
Absolutely not. And if he's offered that, if I'm Mike McCarthy, I'm saying go pound sand. I mean, honestly, just because of what McCarthy's been through and not been through, but he's won a championship. He's a successful veteran head coach in the NFL.
Just ask him.
And if Jerry wants to, incentive lace a contract and lowball this guy, I wouldn't stay. I don't care who it is or how much you want to stay there. You can't do that.
The other part of it, you're talking about a coach who's been in the league for a long time and has made a lot of money. Maybe Mike McCarthy is at a point in his life where he wouldn't balk at something like that, where a younger coach, a guy in his 30s or 40s, might, because they're trying to put as many stacks as they can together, because you never know how long it is going to last. But you listen to Mike McCarthy, who rarely puts his resume out there like he's a college coach, certainly did that yesterday on the podium.
I'll just be clear. I'm a winner. I know how to win. I've won a championship. I won a championship in this building, and that's who I am. So, and we'll see where it goes.
Which is exactly why I would not take any kind of low ball incentive laced contract. I mean, players don't do that, right? Get all the money you can get.
Yep.
And so if I'm Mike McCarthy and that's a low ball offer from Jerry, I'm saying it's been a fun 4 years. I'm out.
Yeah. The Bears have also put in a request to speak with everybody, including Ryan Engel, including Pledger, including me, and Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken. Feels like everybody's in. If
I'm being interviewed, y'all are all screwed.
We are, because you will take the low ball offer.
I damn sure will, because that low ball offer is probably pretty damn good.
The Jets also are interviewing everybody under the sun. Everybody under the sun.
Which, again, and look, they can only hire one, which it is obvious. But the Cowboys, if they are going to let Mike McCarthy go, and the Bears and the Jets and the Jaguars hire somebody, I mean, you're taking three pieces off the board. It just, to me, it benefits the Dallas Cowboys to either re-sign Mike McCarthy or let him go now.
Well, you can't wait forever, because Kellen Moore, apparently the Saints have put in a request to interview him. He would be one that I would think would be on a short list for Jerry Jones if Mike McCarthy is not back as the head coach.
Yeah, I always know coaches and where they've been. And when we go to Mobile, you'll see about 500 of them down there that would love to be on the staff.
Yeah, he's right.
Yep.
I think Cliff Kingsbury, although I haven't seen where he's been invited to go interview anywhere, but I would assume that he's got to be a hot property now with what the Commanders have done. Ben Johnson's going to be the hottest guy out there. I don't think there's any question about that.
And let's put Aaron Glenn on the list.
Aaron Glenn, too. I mean, all of that. But did you see that offense last night? My goodness. I mean, that guy is something else. Slowick has been asked to go interview.
And every Texan fan listening right now is hoping that guy gets a job somewhere else. It's amazing what a year can do.
Boy, I tell you what.
For a coaching candidate, which is why you always have to strike while the iron is hot.
You do. And it's very difficult in the NFL to get one of these 32 jobs. And when your name's on a short list, you usually can be selective the way Ben Johnson has the past few years, but that can all turn quickly as we're seeing with Bobby Slowick. But as far as Mike McCarthy, he has won, and he'll let you know he's a winner.
I'll just be clear. I'm a winner. I know how to win.
And it was funny because during the fullness of that clip, which you heard during that, he's almost sounded angry about it. The fact that he was about to be a free agent and had to kind of put his resume out there for people. That was very, very stern Mike McCarthy voice talking about that. And I found that a little bit odd, but he has won. He has made a lot in the NFL, and he did a lot with a very limited roster this year. And I'm not sure that he likes what Jerry's putting him through at this particular moment. Now, we will see whether he gets the chance to go interview for the Bears, if he has to wait and the Bears wait on him. But I think he's proven he is a legitimate NFL head coach, and he can win a Super Bowl because he's done that before too. I think he commands a locker room and understands that, and that's very, very interesting and noteworthy to talk about when you're talking about Mike McCarthy. The fact that in a season like this, a lot of teams would have checked out a long time ago, and this team stayed dialed in for them up to this final game. Even with Trey Lance at quarterback, they almost beat the Commanders, who were playing their starters, until they pulled Jaden Daniels in order to get Marcus Mariota to give them a game-winning drive. So what McCarthy's market is on the open market, it's going to be very interesting. I think the Saints might have some interest in him if he becomes available too. And outside of Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, and a few other names, there's not a lot of super hot candidates out there. I know Vance Joseph, defensive guy, but not a lot of offensive guys that have a high profile, arrow pointing up. Kellen Moore is a guy, and Goldfinger mentions him as a candidate for the Jags. Sure, I think he's a candidate for the Cowboys if the Cowboys let Mike McCarthy move on from them himself. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com, on X at sasportstar. You can follow me at I am Pledger, also on Instagram on both of those platforms. You can get at us and continue watching on our YouTube channel at SA Sports Star, where you can like, subscribe, comment along. Brad, who says McCarthy won a Super Bowl in 2011, hadn't done anything since. I mean, he's won games. It's hard to win a Super Bowl. He handed Tom Brady his last loss in the NFL, and a lot of people say he hadn't advanced past the first round. He has. He loses in the divisional round with the Cowboys this past 2 years ago. It's tough. Not everybody gets to go to or win a Super Bowl. There are two teams. It is very difficult. And I would argue that year that they lost to Green Bay might have been their best opportunity, but the writing was on the wall with the way the defense was getting gashed in the run game by Dan Quinn's defense was getting gashed in the run game. Now the offense laying an egg in that playoff game, also very, very concerning. But look at the Cowboys, man. They have a ton of questions that need to be answered. Head coach is just the highest priority on that list right now. And we're going into a season, or at least an off season, with the Cowboys where a lot of decisions have to be made on how they're going to build this roster. Morning Huddle was talking about it this morning. We'll discuss next. Plus your phone calls, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, Spurs get back to business up in Chicago. Can they do it? We'll talk about it.
And what's the latest on Mike McCarthy and the rest of the coaching carousel in the NFL? All that and more. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now, sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first. On your timeline, no waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home and make price-boosting upgrades at no upfront cost. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first, sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats. We've got some late-breaking news coming out of the stands. According to multiple sources, Vivid Seats fans are scoring rewards on every purchase and at a rapid pace. Obviously, these rewards are a game changer. Coupled with their MVP-worthy ticket selection, why get tickets anywhere else? Don't drop the ball this season. Shop with Vivid Seats and earn rewards on every ticket. And as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats is offering you $20 off your first $200 ticket purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check that your seats aren't in the visitor section first before buying tickets.
I'm so excited for this game. I can't believe you got us tickets.
Me too. Wait, are we on the wrong side?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
This is going to be a long game.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I've got huge news for you. WWE Monday Night Raw is live every week on Netflix. Live drama, live heroes, live action, featuring some of the biggest names in WWE, such as John Cena, undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Bianca Belair. There's never been a better time to step into the ring and stream WWE Raw. WWE Monday Night Raw is now on Netflix.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
It is playoff time. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You know Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes during the playoffs. Be like me and 5 million other happy players winning money watching games with their Pick'em game, where you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. You can cook up fire entries for a shot to win real cash prizes all playoff long. You can even take football and basketball and mix them together. Underdog is the only Pick'em platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. Now you can either keep riding with your entry or tap the Win Now button to cash out whenever you want. Underdog is the best place to play Pick'em. Download the app, sign up with my promo code STAR, and deposit now and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code STAR. Sign up today.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Follow me on Instagram, X, at I am Pledger. You can follow the station at SA Sports Star. A lot of talk about the Cowboys, their offseason, and it starts with Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy. And I open it up to you, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Eddie called in. Eddie, what's going on, man? Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledge.
Hey, what's up, Pledge? Enjoying the show as always, man. Yeah, man, I just wanted to chime in on the McCarthy. Two things, man. First of all, I thought Jerry Jones did Cooper Rush wrong yesterday because, twice he's come in and at least made the team respectable during Dak's absence. But, that's neither here nor there, man. As far as McCarthy thing goes, if I'm him, I'm taking the interview with the Bears if I can, because if he takes the job, I feel that he'll have a good, success rate, because he's worked well with a young Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Plus, he's familiar with that division. He seems like comfortable in that part of the country. And it seems like Caleb will also benefit with somebody like McCarthy. And the Bears ownership, who has been a dumpster fire for the last, couple of decades, I just think that bringing in a head coach like McCarthy, who's got skins on the wall, will actually benefit both sides. I think it's over in Dallas, and I think McCarthy will benefit from going to the Bears. And honestly, as a Bears fan, I really would welcome the change, to be honest. I'll let you chime in, man.
I appreciate it, Eddie. Thanks for the phone call. And yeah, man, I think McCarthy would do well with Caleb Williams. He's shown to be able to groom young quarterbacks. He did it in Green Bay. I think he's done a good job here in Dallas with Dak Prescott. And to this point, we've seen growth from both Cooper Rush, who was not the best backup quarterback when he left to go to New York and follow Jason Garrett, and became a very serviceable backup when filling in for Mike McCarthy. And we got to see a little bit of Trey Lance this final game, and something was there. You bring up the doing Cooper Rush dirty on the contract. Yeah, and Jerry's answer about he didn't know about Cooper Rush's playing time incentive going into this game. He was asked about it on 105.3 The Fan on Friday going into this game. So I don't buy that answer that he didn't know about Cooper Rush's contracts and incentives. And yes, most GMs, good ones, know all of their players' contract incentives as they go into the final week of the season. Head coaches know them too. That's why they usually try and get those guys their snaps. DeMeco Ryans knew. He had just enough for both Mixon and Nico Collins to hit their 1,000-yard markers, and that was enough to get them out of the game as soon as he got them their 1,000 yards on that first first drive of the game for the Houston Texans. So they know. GMs know, coaches know, everybody knows. Goldfinger123 says Mike gets an invite from the Jags potentially. I don't know, maybe. I wouldn't put it past the Cowboys interviewing Doug Peterson. I think he's the type of coach that Jerry Jones would like around, and someone who, controllable. I also have been very vocal about Kellen Moore coming back to Dallas at some point if they move on from Mike McCarthy. That remains to be seen. We will find out, but it is a very important offseason for the Cowboys with a lot of questions to answer. And the Morning Huddle talked about this morning with AJ and Rob.
The Dallas Cowboys season mercifully came to an end yesterday.
Man, I thought they were going to just pull it off.
Did you want them to?
Yeah, I mean,
it's the Commanders or the Redskins, whatever, the Washington
Yeah.
football team, whatever the hell they are.
Yeah,
W.
They did lose their last two of the season, but look at the bright side: 3-3 in division this year.
It's not. Yeah.
Terrible.
Woo. There's that. Yes, there's that.
Now, what else was bright side?
Merchandise is half off.
Micah got his double-digit sacks, so he joined the
Okay.
Dwight Freeney's of the world.
So he got more expensive.
So yeah,
Okay.
but I don't know if you. Yeah, he got more expensive. Yes, he did. Trey Lance can actually kind of play quarterback.
He can, but
He
he
won't
won't be doing it for the
won't
Dallas
be for the
Cowboys.
Let's see.
You know what my biggest takeaway is from the last?
Dalvin Cook's going to be ready any minute.
Oh yeah, he's ready.
He's still getting the offense down.
God, we should. I wish we had a chance to talk to McCarthy again, because that's what I would ask him.
Oh,
Like,
man.
hey, what are you thinking about unleashing Dalvin Cook?
Has he gotten the offense
It's
down
so
yet?
crazy that they were asking about that
Can't
every
believe
week, and I was like, guys, he sucks. That's why he's not out there. He's not a good player.
But the good news is he survived longer than Zeke did.
That's true.
He's still here.
Oh, is he still on the roster?
I thought he was still on the roster. Zeke's not, but but
So I think if I were looking to take away a positive from the latter half of this season, I would say I feel a lot better about the running back situation than I did early in the season when it felt like nobody was good. And I think that when I thought nobody was good, it's because.
So you think Dowdle is good?
I think Dowdle's good enough. I think, and I don't think Dowdle's an every down back, but I think Dowdle's good enough to be one of two guys that carry the ball for
Don't you? And I like Dowdle too. He's a violent runner. I like that. But don't you think there's a lot of guys like him? Don't you
Sure.
think that if I really wanted to, I could probably find exactly what he's doing for half whatever he's going to ask for?
Yes.
So that's why I'm in on what he did. But, dude, I'm not paying a penny more than what my budget says I'm going to pay for running back. And obviously, by what we did this year, I don't care that much about it. So, yeah, he had a great year. I'm not paying a penny more, So I get the sense if he wants to get paid, it won't be here.
Yeah, because he is now an unrestricted free agent.
And I like him. I'd like to see him. What would you pay a Rico? In the real world, what do you think? $5 million?
Sure.
Do you think he would get that on the open market?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's my fear. So I'm just not going to pay any more than that. I just don't feel like it's that. And that's maybe
I
it
agree.
absolutely is. But
Now, I agree. I mean, you could, and let's also consider he's 27 years old.
well, there's that.
And first of all, if it takes you to year 27 to start being good, boy, I don't have a whole lot of you.
And I didn't want this conversation to end that Dowdle sucks and he's not
He
worth
doesn't
it because
suck.
he is good enough. But when I look at all the things that the Cowboys are going to have to deal with, paying a running back is so far down the list.
The problem is, like, you've got so many holes and only so many draft picks that it's going to be difficult.
Putting it mildly.
Who was the? What did they trade? They traded for. They gave up a fourth
rounder
for who?
Mingo.
Oh my God!
He's a big body. That's what they kept saying yesterday. You know, he's got a big body.
Did we ever come up with what his season end stats were?
Well, they threw to him like 3 times yesterday.
in the last game of the year where it didn't matter.
No, it's not about that. It's about how you can burn a 4th round pick creatively, because we've done it twice now.
16 targets in 8 games.
Yeah, baby.
With the Cowboys.
Oh man. Yeah. 4th round picks really not haven't produced a lot of value in return when trading for players for the Cowboys over the past few years. This is Extra Innings with Pledge. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Coming up, we are going to go back to the Blitz as they talked about the college football playoffs, and it spurred into this interesting reaction about the Longhorns and Aggies and the SEC as a whole. We'll get into it next here on Extra Innings with Pledge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
In Texas, your spouse can claim alimony after just 10 years of marriage. Do you know your countdown? Because I guarantee you, she does. I'm Gary Barton with Barton & Associates. If you're considering divorce, then contact Barton & Associates today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson for Prize Picks, the best place to get real money on your sports action. Me and 10 million other people are playing every day, and now's the time to do it. Have you ever heard of this? You've got a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your season all game long, and now 1,000 times your cash. Heck, I've been a Prize Picks player for a long time. I've not seen this. 1,000 times your cash. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the fun in the last few weeks of the football season. Prize Picks is the best place to play, up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get the action on the sports that you're playing, and now you can get up to 1,000 times your cash. Join over 10 million members. Play today. And if you sign up today, you get up to $50 instantly when you play. Use the code ALAMO. Sign up today for 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks. Run your game.
It's football time at BetMGM. Use code KOSTOS, KOSTOS, and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, original bets, and the best daily promotions in the business. Use code KOSTOS, KOSTOS, and get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. New customer offer. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, call 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, call 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, call 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, how are those New Year's resolutions?
Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut SA.com.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6, your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, SASportsStar.com. I appreciate y'all for rolling through tonight as we get you started on this Monday, first Monday post the regular season, Black Monday as it's known in the NFL, as we see coaches losing their jobs everywhere, but it also means we're one Monday closer to Championship Monday in college football. It's actually a Championship Monday for the FCS as they are playing their championship between North Dakota State and Montana State currently right now on ESPN. But in a couple of weeks, we'll have the actual national championship for the FBS, and which teams will be a part of it? Well, the Blitz with Jason and Joe got to talking about the college football playoffs and how they've been in their inaugural season so far to this point earlier today from 4 to 7 or 4 to 6.
You look ahead. Thursday, the Orange Bowl. Friday, the Cotton Bowl. You'll be able to listen to both of those games here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by Smoky Moe's Barbecue, the Break Room Bar there in Live Oak, and Ewald Kubota. Let's start with the Orange Bowl, Joe. And I know with you off all last week, we haven't really, and me the week before that, we haven't gotten to bitch together about how bad the playoffs have been to this point. But they got some deep dive in to figure out how they can make this better. Overall, bad matchups. Some of the matchups were good. They just turned into bad games, like Ohio State completely destroying Oregon, the number 1 seed. Georgia playing without their starting quarterback. Who was at Florida State last year? We can't be in the playoffs because we don't have our quarterback.
Yeah.
Same rules didn't apply to Georgia, but it certainly showed. So you've got Notre Dame now playing in the Orange Bowl against a Penn State team who's had a fairly easy road to get to the semifinals.
It's going to be interesting too because the Irish are favored in that game. It's close, so it's a 2-point spread. Look, Notre Dame's playing well. Their quarterback's playing well, and overall, they're doing a good job. Penn State, I had no faith in Penn State. I don't know what it is about that team. They just don't do anything for me. Although I will be a Nittany Lion fan this week.
Just because you hate Notre Dame that much?
I don't like the Domers. So yeah, I hope they get beat. But who would provide the better championship game of those two? And my thought process would be Notre Dame, just because I think they're a better team, and I think just have more talent overall.
I quite honestly, when you look at the Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl, the Final Four teams, I think in reality, on the 20th, we're going to have an incredible national championship game.
Sure.
This isn't, a couple of years ago, TCU going against Georgia, and we all knew for 2 weeks this is going to be crap. I do think of the Final Four teams, whoever wins Thursday and whoever wins Friday is going to create an incredible national championship game. You can make arguments for both. You got 4 national brands. You've got 4 fan bases that are passionate and 4 fan bases that are universally hated by those that aren't fans of. For college football, while the playoffs have been a little to be desired or a lot to be desired, I think down to it, the Final Four, I like the matchups and everything, and the potential national championship game between whoever and whoever. I think it's going to be great.
Well, we'll see. And I hope it is. I hope we get 2 good football games. Look, I'm excited about the Ohio State-Texas game. I still have a hard time buying that Texas is a 6-point dog in that game.
That's Vegas saying, come on, sucker.
Well, I guess.
And I'll take it.
I mean, Ohio State's playing well. You got to give them that. But I look at that Oregon game, and that was a revenge game for Ohio State. They were going to come out. They were going to play hard in that, and they did. And they just kind of overwhelmed Oregon a little bit. And again, Oregon, to their credit, had not lost a game all year, right? So, I mean, that's tough.
And how many times have I said, I don't like a team undefeated in long playoffs, man. At some point, you're going to have adversity. At some point, you're going to lose. And the idea, especially in college football, somebody could run the table. Now my sister-in-law was in town this weekend, and she's from the Northwest, and she's the mother of my niece Bree, who's married to who I call Duck Boy, right? and so we all have to kind of follow Oregon football just to talk with Lucas. And she was saying this weekend, Oregon started the year struggling with Idaho, and she's been giving him crap about how they struggle with Idaho all year. There's no way you can struggle with Idaho and be considered for a national champion. And, she's right. But every team has a game like that.
Yes, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame had, they lost. They didn't struggle with, they lost to Northern Illinois.
Yes, they did. And have been a better team since then, right? It's kind of a wake-up call, as they like to say. And they've played really well. So, I just hope for two good football games. Obviously, I'd like for Texas to win and get in and beat Ohio State. But we'll see. I just want a couple of good football games.
I want Texas to win, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a homer.
Sure. I think we should all want that, right?
But,
although there are people that feel about Texas the way I feel about Notre Dame.
Here's the thing, Aggie. Are we behind everybody in the SEC now since the newest member of the SEC, last year's Big 12 champion, is now carrying the SEC flag this deep in the playoffs? They're the only ones left. So are you going to be like Greg Sankey and everybody gets behind Texas because it's better for the conference, to steal McAfee's line for the brand?
Now, if you're an Aggie, no.
I mean, honestly, there is something. If A&M were playing this weekend, I'd be all about the Aggies. Now, I say that I root for the Aggies a lot. Anybody that's listened to the show a long time has heard me say that. Unless they're playing Texas, I root for Texas A&M. I like Texas A&M. So in this case, yes, the best conference in football. Well, have they taken a step back? Has the Big Ten overtaken them? Because based off what's left in the playoffs, you could make that argument. You could have a national championship game featuring two Big Ten teams.
You could.
And then Big Ten types are going to say, we're the best football. You SEC guys are has-beens. And Paul Feinbaum will lose his mind.
He will. He definitely
He
will.
already has.
Look, there's a difference, though, between Longhorn fan and Aggie fan. Hey, if you go to Texas A&M, you're strapped to a chair and electrocuted until you hate Texas.
Oh,
I mean, you just hate
electrocuted?
Texas. I mean, they stick those things on your
nipples,
on your nipples, and,
really,
and shock you until you
Really?
hate Texas.
Wow.
Right? So I mean,
Fish camp for you was very different.
Dude, they've got a song about Texas.
Yes.
All right. The entire university is built on hating Texas. I don't think there's an Aggie fan anywhere that is going to root for the Texas Longhorns against anybody.
It's the SEC.
I don't care.
I mean,
the Aggies aren't happy that they're in the SEC.
He's right. And they actually had a caller into the show a little bit later during the day that, Aggie alum, his dream scenario is Texas and Notre Dame advance to face each other, and Notre Dame wins just to rub the salt in the wound for Texas fans. So yeah, I mean, I understand the hate. I don't hate A&M that deeply. Growing up a Longhorn fan, I don't like them when we play each other, and when they lose, I can laugh about it. But when they're playing someone else and they're the only Texas team remaining, I've cheered for them. I cheered for them to get in the Final Four the year of 2020 when they were left out mistakenly in favor of Cincinnati, I believe it was, which what a mistake that was. But yeah, I don't have anything against A&M other than, they're one of Texas's two biggest rivals, Texas and OU. You don't like those guys. You don't want to see those guys do well when you're playing against them. That's where it kind of ends, though. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Spurs had a good weekend over the weekend against the Nuggets, split with them. And tonight, they get the struggling Bulls coming into town. How will they fare? We'll talk about it next right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, Spurs get back to business up in Chicago. Can they do it? We'll talk about it.
And what's the latest on Mike McCarthy and the rest of the coaching carousel in the NFL? All that and more. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What is GMTVCC? That's a mouthful, but translation for GMTVCC.com is Give Me the VIN Classic and Collector Cars. It's a brand new buying division of Give Me the VIN, but it's for classic and collector cars. Experienced pro buyers will appraise an offer on your 1970 Hemi Cuda or 1988 Fox Body Mustang or your granddad's old 1985 square body Chevy truck. GMTVCC.com is where you go to get real money for classic and collector cars to get paid now. That's GMTVCC.com, brought to you by Give Me the VIN.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a Colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Pizza craving? We've got you covered at Round Table Pizza. We've been crafting pizzas with premium, high-quality ingredients for over 60 years. From our made-from-scratch dough to our savory toppings piled all the way to the edge. Find your nearest location or order delivery at roundtablepizza.com.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf. Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com, on YouTube at SA Sports Star, and on, let's see, we're on X at SA Sports Star. I'm at I Am Pledger. We're on Instagram. Both those handles still the same. Spurs getting ready to take on the Bulls. They have been in the rumor mill for a lot of things. If you want to talk about it, feel free to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Drew Show called in. He wants to talk about the Spurs and potential moves. We got a couple of minutes. What's up, Drew Show?
Well, you're under the impression that they're not going to do it because the Spurs never do anything. But I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking,
what was that?
Jimmy Butler is going to be cheap as dirt, and if it costs the Spurs a first-round pick and whatever year in the future, along with Keldon, and along with our favorite floppy-haired, no-shooting center, and even what's his name? He's got him from Sacramento. I can't. His name's escaping me right now. Sorry.
Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes. It would make a difference.
No,
it would. That's a fair trade. That would be a tradable thing. You could do it. You say you don't want to do it.
No,
but I'm saying that's a fair
if I'm
trade.
the Spurs. And no, it's not a fair trade. I do believe that Miami is going to ask for more than a first-round.
Well, I could say it's not a fair trade. You could say it's a fair trade. It's a matter of opinion, but I think it's a fair trade. I think a lot of people hearing my voice think it's a fair trade. If that means that the Spurs would win, Jimmy Butler's a proven winner. He's a proven dog, and he's better than the people that they're trading him for.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's a fact. He's an all-star.
I don't think that that's what the Heat are going to ask for in a trade, at least at this point, until we maybe get closer to the trade deadline. They're going to search for the best available deal, and I think it includes more than one.
There's only two people available. That's Fox and Butler, and Zion really isn't a thing. And Zion's going to be available for nothing.
There's always more than a couple of people available.
Oh my God! Who do you want that is available? Who's the guy in your mind?
Look, I don't know if there's a player currently right now that I would just sell all of the assets that they've built up for. Jimmy Butler's a one-year rental. He gets to opt out after this year and maximize his value again. And if he picks up his player
and
option,
I never said all the assets.
$2 million.
I was very specific about the assets. A first-round pick in the future. We have multiple first-round picks in the future, and there are ours and other people.
And I think
we got Keldon Johnson.
I understand.
We got Zach who doesn't do anything, and we got our own rental.
They don't want that in return. They think they can do
better. How do you know? But it would make a difference. We would make a run.
Yes, they could.
It would make a run in the playoffs.
They could potentially.
It would make a run this year. Yes, with a motivated guy who's feel like he's scored, who's an all-star, and he's been that dog, and he took a team to the finals twice with nothing but a bunch of ball of twine.
I'll continue the conversation off air with you, Drew, but I mean, it's a matter of opinion what you think they want for him and what's fair to assess. We got Aggies Basketball Hour coming up next here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and SASportsStar.com.
San Antonio Sports Star.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily.